Picture a stick figure standing in a doorway holding a phone. A message just came in. Can you do this one more thing for me? And already, inside, something tightens. Because it's tired. It has its own evening, its own quiet hope of rest. But then the old reflex takes over, and it types the same word it always types. Sure, no problem. Happy to help. And just like that, a little more of its time, its energy, its peace, slips quietly out the door. Maybe you know this figure. Maybe you are this figure. So many of us say yes when every honest part of us is whispering no, and then we wonder why we feel so stretched, so far from ourselves. So today, let's talk about the gentle art of the boundary. 7 calm truths about the quiet power of saying no. For a lot of us, saying no feels almost dangerous. Like if we disappoint someone even once, they might pull away for good. So we keep saying yes, and we call it being kind. But a boundary is not the opposite of kindness. A life with no edges isn't generous. It's just slowly disappearing. These 7 truths are gentle ones. None of them ask you to become cold or hard or selfish. They simply ask you to remember that you are a person too, with limits that deserve respect, including your own. Notice that all that endless yes saying probably hasn't made you feel more loved. It's just made you feel more tired and a little more invisible. There is another way. Not building walls to keep people out, but drawing soft, honest lines that let you stay close without losing yourself. First truth. Boundaries are not walls. This is the fear that stops so many of us. We imagine that setting a boundary means shutting people out, going cold, building something tall and hard between us and the people we love. But a wall and a boundary are very different things. A wall says, stay away, I can't let you near. A boundary says something far warmer. It says, I want you in my life, and here's how to be close to me in a way that works for both of us. A garden has a fence, not to keep the world away, but to protect what is growing inside it. Your boundaries do the same. They don't end relationships. They make honest, lasting closeness possible. So here's a small practice. Think of one relationship where you feel a little stretched, a little used up. Instead of imagining a wall, picture a low garden fence with a gate. Ask yourself, what is the one thing that, if it changed, would let me stay close to this person without quietly resenting them? You don't have to act on it yet. Just notice it. You're learning to see boundaries as bridges, not barriers. Second truth. No is a complete sentence. We rarely let it be one. When we finally manage to say no, we pile a mountain of apology and explanation on top of it. I'm so sorry. It's just that, you see, the thing is, I really would, but... We over-explain because some part of us believes we need permission to decline, that our no is only valid if the reason is good enough to satisfy the other person. But you don't owe anyone a courtroom case for protecting your own time. No, thank you, is enough. That doesn't work for me, is enough. A kind, clear no offered without a tower of excuses is not rude. It's honest. Try this the next time you need to decline. Say your no, and then simply stop talking. No long story, no chain of apologies. Just, I won't be able to do that, but thank you for asking. Then let the silence sit there. It will feel uncomfortable at first, almost rude. It isn't. You are practicing letting your no stand on its own 2 feet, the way it always had every right to. Third truth. You teach people how to treat you. This one is quiet, but it changes everything. The way others treat us is shaped, over time, by what we allow. Every time we say yes while meaning no, every time we let a small disrespect slide to keep the peace, we are teaching a lesson. We are showing people that our limits are flexible, that a little push will move them. We don't do this on purpose. We do it out of fear, out of a deep wish to be easy to love. When you begin to honor your own limits, calmly and consistently, something shifts. Slowly, you teach a new lesson, that your time matters, that your no means no. And most people, the ones worth keeping, will rise to meet it. Here's a gentle shift. Pick one small limit you've been letting slide. The late-night work texts, the friend who's always an hour late. This week, respond to it differently, just once. Calmly, without drama. You're not punishing anyone. You're simply offering a new lesson in how to be close to you. One quiet action teaches more than 100 frustrated speeches. Fourth truth. Guilt is not proof that you did something wrong. This is the trap that catches the kindest people. You finally set a boundary, you say no, you ask for space, and almost instantly, the guilt arrives. It floods in, heavy and certain, whispering that you've been selfish, that you've let someone down, and because the feeling is so strong, you believe it. But guilt is not a courtroom verdict. Often it's just a habit. The ache of doing something unfamiliar after years of automatic yes. Of course it feels wrong at first. You've spent a lifetime putting yourself last. The guilt is not evidence of wrongdoing. It's just the growing pain of finally learning to include yourself. So when the guilt comes after a boundary, don't argue with it. Just name it. Say quietly to yourself, "This is guilt, not proof. This is the discomfort of something new, not the truth that I've done harm." Then ask one honest question. Did I actually hurt someone, or did I simply disappoint them by being honest? There's a world of difference. Let the guilt be there and keep your boundary anyway. Fifth truth. You cannot pour from an empty cup. We treat our own energy as if it were endless. We give and give, at work, at home, to every person who asks, and we assume there will always be more. But you are not a bottomless well. You are a cup. And a cup that is poured out, again and again, with nothing pouring back in, eventually runs dry. When that happens, you don't become more giving. You become brittle, exhausted, quietly resentful of the very people you wanted to help. Protecting some of your energy is not selfish. It is what makes your generosity sustainable. The rest you take, the evening you keep for yourself. These are not stolen from the people you love. They are how you make sure there's something left to give them tomorrow. This week, protect one small thing that refills you. A quiet morning coffee, a walk with no phone, one evening that belongs only to you. Put it on the calendar, because it matters. When someone asks for that time, practice saying, "I can't this time, but let's find another." You're not pulling away from people. You're keeping your cup full enough to actually be there for them. Sixth truth. Every no is also a yes to something else. We tend to see a no as pure loss, a door closing, a person disappointed, an opportunity gone. But a no is never just a subtraction. Every time you say no to one thing, you are quietly saying yes to another. Say no to the late meeting, and you say yes to dinner with your family. Say no to the plan that drains you, and you say yes to the rest you actually need. Your time and energy are not infinite, which means every yes is a choice about what you'll have less room for. The question is never simply, "Can I do this?" It's, "What am I saying no to in order to say yes to this?" Choose on purpose. So the next time a no feels like pure loss, finish the sentence. Say to yourself, "By saying no to this, I am saying yes to that." Name the thing you're protecting out loud. Yes to my rest. Yes to my family. Yes to the work that matters most. It turns the no from a small guilt into a quiet act of choosing. You are not just refusing something. You are choosing your life on purpose. Seventh truth. A boundary is an act of love, not rejection. This is the one to carry with you. We avoid boundaries because we're afraid they'll push people away. That to set a limit is to say, "I don't care about you." But the opposite is true. A boundary, offered honestly, is one of the most loving things you can do. It says, "This relationship matters too much for me to disappear inside it." When you tell someone the truth about your limits, you give them the real you, not a tired, resentful echo nodding along. You give them someone actually present, there by choice. That is a gift. Resentment quietly poisons love. Honesty protects it. The boundary you set today is how you make sure there's a real, whole person left to keep loving them. So tonight, try one small thing. Think of a boundary you've been afraid to set, and instead of framing it as pushing someone away, finish this sentence. "I'm setting this limit because I care about." And then name the relationship, or name yourself. Say it gently. You're not building a wall. You're telling the truth, so that the love between you has room to stay honest and stay alive. So let's gather these 7 truths. Boundaries are not walls. They're how we stay close without disappearing. No is a complete sentence. You teach people how to treat you. Guilt is not proof that you did something wrong. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Every no is also a yes to something else. And a boundary is an act of love, not rejection. You have spent a long time saying yes when you meant no, and quietly paying the price. You don't have to live that way forever. The next time something in you whispers no, just pause and let that quiet voice be heard. You don't have to defend it or apologize for it. You only have to honor it once, and then again, until it stops feeling like rebellion and starts feeling like home. There may be a small voice asking, but what if they're upset with me? Hear this clearly. The people who truly love you want the real you, edges and all, not an exhausted yes. So take up your space and draw your soft, honest lines. Thank you for spending this gentle time here. Be kind to yourself today and take care.